Today, I want to talk to you guys about 5 really important books that pretty much changed my life and also put me on a path to being a farmer. And they're books, the first 3 of them aren't even books about farming, but I think they're really important for getting the proper mindset that can help you become a successful farmer. So the first one is a book called You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought. And this book I actually read many years ago, but I found when I look back at where I'm at today, there's some things that I do, one thing in particular that I do that really helps me in the day-to-day, especially when you're struggling with something, whether it be on the farm or in your personal life, is thinking positively. It's so important. In this book, they really talk about how to change your mindset, how to change your mind to constantly think positively and eliminate negative thoughts. And so for me, that started with changing my mindset to think positively. And then, so it was getting rid of negative thoughts. But a few other things along this path that have really helped me is, first of all, eliminating negative thoughts, which is the thing you need to start with. Then eliminating negative habits, and then eliminating negative people out of your life. And so this book doesn't talk so much about the people and the habits as it does just the psychology involved in transforming your mind to be thinking more positive. But definitely the first book that I would recommend. The second one is by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This book completely changed the way I did business. And I was doing business and running a farm for 2 years before I read this book. But it was actually my dad that recommended it to me, saying, you know, you really need to change your attitude as far as how you deal with people. And I'm a pretty, by nature, abrasive person, have a tendency to offend people from time to time, and this is me being honest. And this book really taught me how to, in a way, mirror people's body language and behavior, and so that you can adapt to any situation. And when you're meeting new people, especially when you're a business person or an entrepreneur or even a farmer of today, it's really important to understand where you can meet people in the middle and adapt to their behavior and get to know them and really value them as people, because everybody has a different story. And that was really instrumental for me getting started. So the third book in this, these are all similar books in a way, and self-development type books, is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This is a classic book. In fact, all 3 of these are very classic. But this book is absolutely critical for understanding the mindset of successful people. And the book's old. Like this book was written during a time that mostly men were entrepreneurs, and so it's a little outdated in its language. But if you can get past that, there's so many valuable nuggets in this book that really paint the picture of what it takes to be successful, and that could be whatever you're doing. So the fourth book, which was super crucial for me, and this book isn't even very specific to the type of farming that I do, but the book You Can Farm by Joel Salatin. And pretty much I would recommend any book that Joel Salatin writes, especially Everything I Want to Do Is Illegal, but that's not on this list. This is the top 5. You Can Farm really paints a picture of how a person can get started on a relatively minimal budget, but also just breaking down a lot of the concepts that people have when they think about running a farm, like that you need to own land and you need to have all this expensive equipment. And these are the traps that many farmers fall into. And this book by Salatin really kind of puts it in perspective on how a farmer can start without owning land or having all this big upfront capital to get all this expensive machinery. And that book led me down many other different directions. But the 5th book is Elliot Coleman's The New Organic Grower. And this book is, in a way, outdated in the sense that, you've got books like mine and even John Martin's book, The Market Gardener. We've taken Elliot's ideas and expanded them. But this book is really important because it shows this new way of farming that at the time it was written, nobody was doing this. And Elliot talks about in the book making $20,000 on an acre. And at the time it was written, that was unheard of. And so I think if you read that book, you'll have a better perspective on where small-scale farming is going, because Jean-Martin Fortier's book, The Market Gardener, was really a 2.0 or even a 3.0 of these ideas, and then my book was taking these ideas further and even on a smaller landscape. But the whole concept of the market garden, the 30-inch bed, the idea of multiple rotations on a bed in a season are really instrumental to what I do, what J.M. Fortier does, but it was really pioneered by Eliot Coleman. So those are my top 5, guys. The first 2, or the second 2, were books that were the only ones about farming. The first 3 are about mindset, and I find for myself that was crucial for really struggling in the first number of years to make my farm profitable. So I hope they can help you. I'll leave the links below. If you guys want to see more stuff like that, please hit the subscribe button right now. Like and share these videos with your friends, and check out my website at theurbanfarmer.co, where you've got links to my website, my online course, my book, and you can also make a donation to the show there. That's the urbanfarmer.co/support. All right, see you soon.